My friend Sonnet is making maker's boxes and she sent one to me. Let's see what's in it. Sweet Pickens Pickle Milk Paint. Ooh, it matches my shirt and my eyes. Let's see, a mini whisk and some directions, which you know I probably won't read and follow. There's some kissing booth and some weathered wood from DIY and a yellow and a black from Fusion. And custom decoupage papers exclusive to Sonnet. This one is full of beautiful birds from Royce, and this one, look, it matches my shirt too. It's gorgeous trees. And then my friend Connie, the painted photographer, made these rice papers. Look at how adorable they are with these little watering cans. Box opening is over. It's time to get to work. I'm looking for a breadboard that I got a few days ago and a few boxes to paint. This is actually one of my stock rooms after I cleaned it, and I have way too many picture frames and other things. So we're going to be working on this over the next few weeks as I paint my way through the alphabet of DIY paint. So make sure you subscribe so you see all the different colors as we go through this fun experiment. Hold on to your hats, folks. We're going to do 8 projects today out of this little maker's box. It is packed full of stuff. Project 1 is this little primitive jewelry box. I thought that it was adorable, but I am not a fan of the plaid. So when I saw this yellow paint today, I knew that this was a perfect thing to add to my pile. It doesn't need decoupage or anything. It just needs a fresh paint job. And Fusion paint has a built-in top coat and makes it perfect for this job. I've used Fusion before in the past, and I know that it has great coverage. So we did 2 quick coats of this, and then that project is done. To get your Fusion paint, please visit Sonnet's website at sonnetgardenblooms.com. Project 2 is this flower pot. It's actually like a half a flower pot that hangs on the wall. It's plastic or resin. We took the sticker off with the heat gun, and now we're going to paint it with kissing booth from DIY. I chose to use this bright fun color that Sonnet sent because I wanted the clay paint to really stick to this shiny sort of plasticky kind of pot, and it did a great job. We'll heat gun it a little bit, and then we are going to decoupage it using liquid patina, and liquid patina will also work today as our top coat for the clay paint. Liquid patina will give it a nice matte finish, and I can decoupage and seal all at once. We heat gunned it to get it started, but let's let that sit for a bit while we work on our next project. We've got Pickle Milk Paint by Sweet Pickens. I sell Sweet Pickens and DIY paint, so if you're looking for either of those, please hit up my website, rusticrehabs.com. Milk paint is an ancient way to make paint. It has actual milk solids, and real milk paint comes in a powder, and you mix it 1-to-1 with warm water and stir it well with either a whisk, or you can even use an immersion blender if you want a really smooth finish. Some other paints say they're milk paint, but unless they're powdered, they really are not, and it's kind of confusing. Milk paint is known for being very unpredictable and chippy, and usually I add extra bond, but today I was using this on a lot of raw wood, and I knew that it would probably just sink in, and so I took a little bit of a gamble by not putting some extra bond in, but see how it turns out. This green is gorgeous. My grandma Gellings would love this color. She was an O'Brien, lots of Irish in her. Milk paint can go on a little bit chunky if you don't have it all mixed in well. Just continue doing what you're doing. The first coat can also look really streaky and scary. This color, actually, the coverage is amazing. I could have probably gotten by with 1 coat, but I kind of do 1.5 coats here to even it all out. And then if you do have any chunks, you can hit it with your sandpaper and smooth it out, and it makes a really buttery smooth, gorgeous finish that you can't get with any other kind of paint. This maker's box is quite amazing, all the different things she stocks into this one little box. You get 3 different kinds of paint: milk paint, clay paint, and the Fusion paint. And then put all the different colors in, you can really come up with a lot of combos on things. I only use my heat gun when I'm doing videos, either live videos or recorded videos where I need to move things along. It's best if you leave it dry on its own, but milk paint actually does good with a heat gun, and it can help force some chippiness too. So I wouldn't have been sad if it started to chip. Check out that finish. It's unlike anything else. I'm a messy painter, so I like to use all natural products so I don't have to worry about getting them on my skin or around my kids or my pets. Here we are using Connie's rice papers, and I am taking a little artist brush with some water, and that's how I cut out my rice paper and decoupage paper. So what I'm doing is I'm just sort of tracing it, and then I'm using my fingers to rip it. So we're going to put this, we're going to go back to project number 2 here and finish this one off. I'm grabbing my liquid patina, which is called Crystal Clear Chandelier by DIY Paint. I'm putting just a little bit underneath, and then we're going to sandwich it in. I'm going to grab a bigger brush, and I'm going to completely seal all this clay paint with the liquid patina as well, and then this little project can sit and dry while we work on the rest. Use caution when using a heat gun with a top coat. It can really bubble up and take your paint off. We've got another simple one here. This watering can is adorable, so I'm just decoupaging this watering can on top of the metal watering can to make it something different. This will make a good decorative watering can to put some flowers in, but it would not be a great one to take out to the garden, even though this will seal it in. It's just not really an outdoor thing once you decoupage. I decided this little box was going to become a seed box that I would put a packet of seeds in there and some garden gloves. I mean, how cute is that to store some stuff or to give somebody a little gift? So we're using our liquid patina to seal in the decoupage and finish it all up. Give it a little heat gun and then let it sit to be dry. This box to me is a little trinket box. I thought about kids putting bugs and rocks in it. I just think of like a little boy and a collector. So I'm grabbing a moth off of this decoupage paper. We're cutting it out, and then I am decoupaging that on and sealing the rest of the paint. Because I crammed so many projects in such a short amount of time, they're out of order and everything, but I hope you get the gist. We're doing one more decoupage from the bird paper on this breadboard, and again, putting on a starter strip, putting down the paper, and then sealing it all in with liquid patina. Projects 7 and 8 are windows. One we're going to paint, so we're using our weathered wood here. I wanted to use this because this is a vintage window. It may or may not have lead paint in it, so I really want to seal that all in with some layers of clay and then top coat. Lead paint can be in a lot of old things. I think as long as you're not sanding it and getting particles all over the place, it's really not a big deal, and keep it away from kids. So this is decor that's going to be, I imagine, used in like a living room or a cottage. So just always keep that in mind and use at your own risk. I got a little help from Crystal on the back side. She's like, "You want me to finish that side?" So teamwork makes the dream work, baby. You can see when the clay paint dries, it gets very, very matte, and it's also very water soluble until it is sealed. So this is where Fusion paint and the DIY clay paint are very different. DIY does make an all-in-one paint, the cottage colors, that's a little more similar to Fusion, where you don't have to seal it. Today on this window, I'm showing you reverse decoupage. So we're decoupaging in the back of the window, so we're kind of doing it upside down, which is a little bit more of a challenge than just regular decoupage where you put it on and it's facing you and you can see all the wrinkles and everything, because this is going to be facing the table. And guys, I screw up all over the place, but I don't give up because I only have this one piece of paper and I needed to get the project done. So I'm going to show you all the places that I was challenged so that you can know that you can still do it and it can still turn out all right. I'm ripping my paper here using that wet paintbrush method. And what ended up happening is it got a little too small. I didn't measure carefully enough. And there was a little gap in between the window, between the paper and the window. And I couldn't see it until I had it all on there. Here's when I flip it over and I realize that I cut it a little too small. And I'm like, oh, shoot. So I'm trying to pick it up and move it to get it a little bit closer to the other side. This is why I love liquid patina. You should never have to do this. But the reality is that this decoupage medium is thinner than other kinds. And so it actually allows me to pick it up and move it around without ripping the paper completely. You would not be able to do that with regular Mod Podge. Now, I'm going to get better on the second and third panels, but I decided to leave this Hot Mess Express in here to show you that you can still fix it. You just got to really take your time, which is not my specialty at all, and smooth it out and then fix it on the back end. And now I'm showing you how you can take little pieces of the same paper in the same areas and you can patch it in. So if you have parts that rip or you cut it too small, take a little piece out and put it on, and most of the time your customer or anybody else who looks at it will never know the difference. It can be our secret. Okay, that's better. Time for number 2. This time I'm checking it before I glue it all down, and this looks significantly better. So let's do our decoupage. It's definitely not perfect, but nothing I've ever made is, so I think that this is coming together. Headed into the home front, project number 8 is a window that was originally from World Market. It's actually one of those frames where it's got a pane of glass and then a pane of plexiglass. And so I decided to do kind of a version I call lazy decoupage. I'm not going to completely decoupage the birds that I cut out of the paper on here. I'm going to lightly attach them on the outsides only to this dictionary paper. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm just cutting it out again using the paintbrush method, and then I'm going to lightly decoupage it just the outsides onto the dictionary paper so that I can put it in between the 2 panes of glass. Give it a little check. I'm getting a lot of glare from my ring light, but this looks pretty good. I'll check another one and then we'll do the last 4 pretty much one after another.
Something about tonight, now it's gonna be your last. And now my mind is a mess, my heart is pounding fast. Oh, I wish that you could stay. I don't care about the other one, I don't care about what you do.
Sometimes I do what's called lazy decoupage, where I don't glue it at all. I just put the paper in between the frame and the glass, and it looks great. And then you can take it out if you get tired of it and change it up.
From the look in your eyes, you need to get away. But I'll make you promise me that you'll come back someday.
I think this looks so springy and completely 100% unique. What do you think? I just knocked out 8 projects. I'm giving myself a thumbs up. Oh, one more. We're going to paint a little ladybug to put in our bug box. I'm using Barn Quilts from DIY. It's the one-step paint from Cottage Colors. And then I'm using a little bit of that black from Fusion to do the head and the body. And you can buy these ladybugs in my shop. They're super cute. They're just these little wood things. I did decide to put some Salty Kiss and a little bit of black on the back of the edges of the reverse decoupage. It creates kind of a vignette, sort of a shadow, and that's just a tip I wanted to show you. If you're not in love with how the edges of your work looks, you can kind of blend it in with the paper. Project 1 looks so cute. This is exactly what I needed. I love this creamy yellow from Fusion. It's perfect. Project 2 is Kissing Booth from DIY Paint and papers from the Painted Photographer. It looks adorable. Number 3 is some of the Pickle Milk paint and some of the bird paper from Recycled. I love how this turned out and how it looks with this wreath that I have. Project 4 was simple. We took the Painted Photographer rice paper and we put this on a galvanized watering can. It looks adorable. Our seed box turned out so adorable from something that's just been kicking around in my stock room. I threw some zinnia seeds in there and a couple of fun garden gloves, and this would be a great gift for someone. Project 6 is Pickle again with a little moth on it, and we hid our ladybug with a succulent in there. How cute would that be for a little kid to put rocks or whatever it is they want in that box? Project 7 is this huge window frame from World Market that we put the dictionary paper in, and then we put the birds on. And it just screams summer and happiness in every single pane. And project number 8 looks moody and would be great in a cabin. I think this turned out really well, even though it challenged me. Thanks for watching my video. I hope to see you again soon.